Grand Rising. I hope you're having a blessed day. It's very beautiful. It's very refreshing. Is the temperature. And this video I am going to make for a specific reason, to address some concerns that some people have had about foraging in the city. And for me, it's a very important issue. I mean, I don't get to forage as much as I would like to be honest with you, for many, many reasons. Just the nature of my life and busyness and time and just, things. It's just the way it is. But if I had more opportunity, most of my food would come from foraging. There's so much of it. There's so much abundance, and I'm really passionate about that. The fact that we are made to believe that there's a lack of food, there's a lack of abundance, that Gaia is struggling, that especially with the cost of living and the amount of people that live in poverty and have to use food banks and don't have this knowledge of free food. And most people live in the city, so let's address this concern that you have about pollution and dog piss. So let's start with pollution. Okay, so we've been told, indoctrinated, mainly by older parents, not to forage food by the roads. Okay, now, because of cars and pollution and traffic and etc. Now, I've lived in the city, and I've lived in the country. I've lived in the middle of nowhere. I've lived near farms. I've walked through farms. I've visited farms. I've known people that have worked on farms, that have owned farms. And this old wives' tale about the pollution, let's think about this. Let's actually think about it. Okay, this is coming from parents that were like in the 70s and 80s. Yeah, the pollution was bad. We have a lot of like restrictions on emissions, on how cars, we haven't got cars that are pumping out shitloads of smoke anymore. They're all designed to be a bit more eco-friendly. Like, the emissions aren't as bad. And I've walked through places where there's a lot of farm traffic as well. Like, when you've got farmlands, there's roads through them. There's dual carriageways that go through them. There's motorways that go through farmlands, like over or through, and they're surrounded by farmlands. Like, go on the motorway, have a look out of your window. There's farmlands. That's where most of your produce that you get in the supermarket is growing, next to the motorways. And in a lot of the places that are like in the middle of nowhere, there's quite often, like near the farms, there's quarries, and there's terrible quarry traffic. Like, you've got big massive trucks going up and down, like on a consistent basis, like all day, like vroom, 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 vroom. So there is traffic in near the places that grow your food in the supermarket. Okay, especially if you buy British. Like, I don't know about foreign countries. I don't know what their traffic is like near their farmlands, but near our farmlands, we still get a lot of traffic. But again, I will point out that our cars are now have regulations surrounding the pollution and what emissions they can come out. Not to mention the fact that the stuff that you get in the supermarket, not only will it have like the traffic of the roads near it, but you've got tractors going through the fucking farm fields. You've got tractors and other farm machinery that go through that probably don't have as much regulations on the emissions, because they're not like main road vehicles. They spray the fuck out of all the crops with pesticides and other things, and fucking like radioactive fertilizers that they Go on. I laugh because people just don't think about this, and they go, oh yeah, but you shouldn't eat it in the city. Why? Like, actually, plants are really good at filtering this stuff out. Like, that's what they do. They filter out the air, and if they were that bad, they would look. The plants that I pick, did those plants that I showed you on the videos, did they look unhealthy? Did they look covered in pollution? Did they look like they, were missing nutrients? Like, no. They were healthy, they were green, they were abundant, they were flourishing, no pesticides on them. And yeah, there might be a few bugs, but I've gotten fruit and vegetables from the supermarket that have had bugs in them, that have had caterpillars living in them, and all sorts of things. I've had lettuces from the supermarket that have had slugs in them. I had to pay for that one, and not only that, it was grown, it was sprayed, it was harvested, probably, by things like tractors and harvesters that are right in the field when they're harvesting. And when you're foraging in the city, you obviously don't get it right by the road. Like, well, you can do. I mean, I eat blackberries that are by the road. Why do you think they would tell you not to eat things by the road? Because most people live by roads, and that therefore cuts off your avenue of free food, because they don't want you eating free food. They don't want you having things for free. They want you buying the fucking shit from the supermarket. They want you investing in the machine. They want you spending your money and not getting access to knowledge, which is empowering. Like, knowledge is power. Like, do they want the 99% of people knowing how much power they have with knowledge of food and nutrition and medicine? No, they want you buying the supermarket shit, investing in farms, which, there's a lot of money in farming. And they also want you investing in big pharma. They want you being sick, they want you being unhealthy, and they don't want you treating yourself. They want you buying medicines. They want you getting sick so that you will invest in their machine, in their system. That's why, and as for the dog piss, I mean, come on, really? Just take it home and wash it. I wasn't eating it straight from the ground. You just wash it. Do you not think that the animals don't visit the farm fields that you get your purchased produce from? You don't think there's ever any animals in those fields, ever? Like any foxes or, deer or rabbits or birds that will piss and shit all over the fucking food? I mean, there's pesticides on them. It'll keep the bugs off, but it's not going to stop fucking animals pissing and shitting on them. Like, get a grip. And fucking, do you really care? Like, you just compartmentalised it because it comes in a packet. Because it comes in a packet, you've gone, this is clean, this is safe, because it's in a packet. It's in a plastic packet. It's been sprayed the fuck out of. It's been handled and God knows what through factories and process units. But that's okay. It's been in a truck. It's been in crates. It's been gone through a factory. People have taken it up and they've coughed all over it, and they've and they're in a big factory environment. It's, you can clean it as much as you want, but let's be honest, we've all seen whistleblowers have come out and gone, oh, the factory's disgusting, and look at this, they've had undercover cameras in places where they're making food, and the place that they make the food is disgusting and shocking, and but we still do this thing in our brain where it's like, yeah, but it comes in a packet, so it's clean. It's not. Like, more and more foods are getting recalled because of bad production practices, and you're concerned about eating a few plants from the city. If anything, we need more food in the city. We need more plants that we can eat. We need more knowledge of free food. Like, Gaia is abundant. Those plants that I was showing you, they've not been cultivated, they've not been sprayed, they've not been maintained, and yet look at them. They're doing perfectly. They're healthy. They're not all eaten and bug infested because they are growing in harmony with other plants. They're not just like single crop like this, and we now need to like figure out how to stop bugs eating this one single crop. No, they're living in harmony. They're living in conjunction with nature, how they're supposed to be. They don't need to be tampered with or maintained. They don't need any production value. You literally just go out and you just do it. You don't need to pay anybody to maintain it. You don't need to pay anybody to harvest it. You don't need to pay anybody to clean it and process it and pack it and transport it and sell it. You don't need to do any of that. Like, just think about it. Please think about it. And I do get that, you know, it's not a judgment on you as individuals that are like, oh yes, but you shouldn't eat it by the road. There's many things in modern society that we are just told and we just believe, conditioned. We just believe it because our parents told us that was truth, because our parents told us, because schools told us. Because schools told us that this was truth. And yeah, just question it. Just think about it. Just do the devil's advocate and go, well, okay, well, what if? What if? And actually really think about it. Because, you know, some of the farms I've been through, and they've got tractors ploughing through them and fucking spewing shit all over them and fucking chemical-infused fertilizers. Yeah, no. Not that I don't eat it. I do eat it. You know, I'm just saying, like, to say that one is okay and clean and safe and that one isn't, that's just not truth. It's just not truth at all. It's like when people say, oh, you don't eat blackberries because they'll have bugs in them. Well, do you not think that there might be bugs in the ones that you get from the supermarkets? Seriously. You know, the amount of times that I've had strawberries that have had little caterpillars in them or little like grubs, and they're, you know, not, but they have still been sprayed. They have still been, you know, they weren't organic. They were just normal strawberries. You get bugs in everything, and why not eat bugs? Why not? Like, seriously, think about it. You'll eat a pig. If you'll eat a cow, you'll eat a lamb, you'll eat a fish. Why not a bug? Same. Like, I don't get it. I hope that's addressed your concerns. I hope that helps you to, like, not compartmentalise, like, safe and unsafe, clean and unclean. And if you're genuinely concerned about it, just take it home and wash it. Like, put it in a bowl of water that's got, like, some bicarb in it. That'll clean everything. But yeah, it's not about being a free spirit. It's just about being informed. It's not about like, oh, you know, I'll just do what I want. It's like, actually, no, I've genuinely thought about this. Because I was in a position where I was like, oh, we shouldn't eat the ones by the road. And actually, I had to think about it after living in the country and seeing the amount of traffic and the amount of trucks and tractors and farm machinery that, you know, and not all farms are well kept. That's, you know, very well known. That's all coming out, like, in the media consistently over the last few years about how bad farm practices are. So I think I'm still quite safe to eat food from the city. Yeah, I'm very safe, thank you. And if I do have concerns, if there's, you know, if there's anything on them that resembles pollution, like blackness, then I won't pick it. Simple. If it looks, you know, diseased, I won't pick it. Simple. If it looks unhealthy, I won't pick it. Simple. If it looks like it's had dog piss on it, I'll wash it. Simple. Tell you, I have a lot of patience and tolerance, but sometimes humans just unnecessarily complicate things, and we do get in our own way. We really do. So thank you for listening. I hope this has addressed your concerns. I hope this inspires you to actually go out and maybe pick some food from the city. You know, make yourself a little salad. It's quite simple. It's quite easy. It's free. It's fun. You know, the plants that you're eating are probably a lot healthier than the plants. They've probably got more nutrition in them than the plants that are in farms, because farm soil is like heavily depleted. Whereas, you know, where it hasn't been consistently farmed and used, and it's more natural, and in, you know, probably got a lot more nutritional content in the soil. And yeah, sometimes they do spray weeds, but you will see straight away that those weeds have been sprayed, and they'll be brown within a couple of hours. You'll know. Just don't pick brown. If it's not green, don't pick it. Have a blessed day. I love you very much. And yeah, have a think about the food that you buy from the supermarkets before you start sort of panicking about food from the city. Go and visit some farms, have a look at the farm traffic, have a look at the traffic that goes by the farms that are on the roads that go through the farms. Have a think about that. Have a look at what they spray on the fuckers. I tell you, it's not great. I've been there. I've seen it. The ecosystems in farms, non-existent. Like the ecosystems, there's a lot more life in the city. I can tell you that now, because they're not consistently being sprayed, and there isn't pesticides and all sorts of other shit floating over on the air. So yeah, having seen both sides of it, I would say that the city is definitely a better place. Because yeah, it just is. That's my perspective, my opinion. Agree with it or not, but at least question it. Question what you've been told. Question what you believe. You don't have to believe what I say. You don't have to, you know, like what I say. You don't have to like it. You don't have to believe it. You don't have to go foraging. You don't have to do any of those things. If you want to take a trek up into the country to go and forage a few leaves, do it. Do that. I highly recommend it. Being out in, you know, out of the noisy city is a beautiful experience. And yeah, have a great day. Foraging in the city. Who knew it was such a controversial topic?